Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Manu. I'm working at New Vector, managing the mobile clients we call Riot. I usually work on iOS, but today we will talk about Android with Benoit, who is leading the project. So, hi Benoit.
Hello.
Uh,
Hello, everybody.
can you tell us about the Android team?
Yeah, sure. So at New Vector, we are three Android developers. There is François, Valère, and me. And we are working together to make a new version of Riot, which is named RiotX.
Okay,
So I've joined New Vector in April last year. And François joined us in July and Valère on December of last year.
Okay, so today we have released RiotX. Why? What's wrong with the old Riot Android application?
The old Riot version was a bit old because it was 5 years old for some source code, and it was all written in Java, and it was using old libraries and with bad patterns, and with, for instance, God activities, and it was hard to develop new features, and it became hard to maintain and to fix bugs.
Yeah, I can add also that the project was very old. Like we started it 5 years ago. So yeah, I think it was also a good time to move and to use new things that cool guy use.
And we wanted to have a better code base for our own work environment, and also to give people the opportunity to help us on a better code base.
Yeah, I guess it's more appealing to work on Kotlin rather than on Java these days.
Yes, sure. Kotlin is a new language. Well, it's 5 years old now, but it's adopted on Android since 2 years, I think. And it's faster to write features in Kotlin. It's less verbose. And yes, it's a modern language. So with a big standard library, so we can do many things with just a few lines of code. So it's good. It's better for the developer sanity.
Okay, so what was the steps on the project? Who worked on that?
So basically, François started to work on RiotX in October last year, and he was alone to start on this project. And in the same time, we were still working on the legacy Riot to develop new features. But it was at the beginning, it was a proof of concept of a new version of Riot with a new SDK to prove that we can do a faster and lighter client. And to do that, we had to start from scratch to create a new client. And because we have added a database, and we were using new libraries and etc. So it was the legacy code base was too old, and it was too complicated to work on Riot to start to improve the performance and etc. So we decided to start from scratch. And then I joined François on April, and then Valère 1 month later. So François has done a good job to write the code base and the main features in the SDK, like the timeline and the sync API, and also all the base of the software. And when this was ready and stable, we decided to stop working a lot on Riot and to work all together on RiotX to develop the other features and to make François less alone. So with the new code base, we are progressing very fast, and even if there is lots of feature missing in RiotX, we will reach the same level of features than on Riot quite fast.
Okay. Is there anybody else implied in the project?
Yes, sure. We are 3 developers here at NewVector, but we have a great community that helps us to test the application even before it was on the Play Store. I'm thinking about Cromwell and others that put the application on the F-Droid store. So we had a lot of feedback and crash reports with race check feature. So it was good to, and also we had good feedback that the application is faster and better and looks better. So we also had a good work from Nad, which is the designer of NewVector. So yes, we are not alone. We are not just 3 developers. We have support from the community, and that's important for us.
Yeah, and that's why this is great to have a dedicated designer now, who are thinking more about UI, UX before starting coding, and this is a very valuable. Yeah, true.
Yes, we can share ideas, and I think it's very important.
So thanks, Nad.
Thank you.
Can you talk about more in detail about the new architecture in RiotX?
Yes. So currently we have only one GitHub repository because it's easier for us to make a PR, not on several projects on GitHub. But we have in mind that at the end it will be split between SDK, Matrix SDK, and the Riot application. So we have modules in the source code to split things properly. And we are using modern patterns and libraries. As I said, we are using view models, we are using the work manager, which are provided by Google mainly. But we are also using Epoxy and Maverick, which are great libraries from the Airbnb team. So we are choosing a library which are open source and under the Apache 2 license, and which are widely recognized as great libraries. We also have imported legacy code from Riot because we don't want to rewrite everything. And also features that have been done recently on Riot was already following the good architecture pattern. So we are not reinventing the wheel for every feature, for everything. And in this way, we had, for instance, the key backup and the SAS verification feature just after one day of work, just importing the classes and the source code and plugging the things together, and it was working out of the box.
Yeah. From the outside, it looked very quick to import such features. I mean, on iOS, I cannot see importing things as easily as you made it. Right.
Yes. Well, we already started to work on Kotlin on Riot. So there were already Kotlin code, so it was just a plugin. And also on Riot, I prepared the field by splitting the crypto module in a separate module. So to import the crypto, which is roughly half of the code volume in the SDK, we had made it just in 1 month and a half to import it, plug in it everywhere, and make it work. So it's imported and it's already reworked to follow the RiotX architecture. So there is still work to do to improve performance, to improve stability. But the feature is working now, and it's still in beta. So we have we are sure there are still bugs remaining, but and missing feature, but it's live now, so we can have feedback, and there will be more release in the future.
Great. So you said that all modules are in the same GitHub repository at the moment. Do you know when you will split them into different repo, and when will people can people will be able to use the SDK?
I think it will be at the end of what we call phase 2, which is basically the step where all the features already in Riot will be also in RiotX. But because it's easier for us to develop new features, because on Riot, if you want to develop a new feature and you have modification to do on the SDK and also on the client, you have to do 2 PRs, and it's annoying sometimes. So it will be due at the end of phase 2. But we are keeping in mind that there is an SDK and an application, and we are also working on describing the APIs of the SDK to provide highly documented APIs and easy to use APIs for other clients, which will include the SDK in the application.
Okay. To give some feedbacks to Matrix client developers, can you tell us what are the trickiest parts when implementing Matrix client?
Yes. I think the trickiest part was to manage the timeline, because the sync API is a huge API, and with lots of events, lots of data to load. And also the CS API, the client server API, is well documented now, but there are still APIs that are not documented yet. I'm thinking about key backup, for instance, because they are still in MSC, and which are Matrix proposal for the standard of Matrix. So the documentation is not full, and sometimes it's hard to know where is the source of documentation. What helps us is that we have already other clients that are working well, so it's a reference. If there is something we don't understand, we just have to look how Riot does the request, and it helps us a lot. And also we have the Riot code base, which is already an implementation of the matrix SDK. So it also helps us to understand what's happening.
Okay. Can you explain us why RiotX is so fast? I mean, RiotX on a middle line Android is much faster than my than Riot iOS on my iPhone test on my iPhone. Can you explain that?
I'm not sure I can explain between RiotX Android and Riot on iOS, but I can tell that between RiotX Android and Riot Android, on Riot Android we are using a database to store the events and all the data which comes from the sync. And on the legacy Riot, it was just serialized in the file system. So the main KPI on the new RiotX is startup time, because we don't deserialize data anymore. It's delegated to Rain, which is the database engine we are using actually on Riot, currently in RiotX. So we just start the app and the database is here, and we can start doing queries on the database. We don't have to load all the file system on the serialized data into memory to start displaying anything on the screen. So this is the first point. And also we are using a lot of background threads to handle the data. So we are still working hard to minimize what is done on the UI thread. So I'm thinking about when we are building the content of the event, everything is done on the UI, on the backend thread. Right? And when it's ready, we are just notified that we have to display those data, and the UI thread is displaying us, but it's guaranteed that the scroll is very smooth, and it's working pretty well for the moment. We are still investigating performance issues. It's not easy, but we are some leads to make it better again. So.
Okay, great. So we have released RiotX today. What about what we can call now the legacy Riot Android? What is the plan for that application?
I think we will release new versions quite soon, because we have lots of translations which are missing. And I also want to thank you today, all the translators which are working to translate the application into many languages. So that's wonderful. And also we are publishing updates when we have a critical bug or critical feature which has to be implemented in Riot. So we try not to spend too much time on Riot, but sometimes we have to take care of the old Riot and to publish new version.
Okay, well, we are in minimal support mode now.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And also we have other clients which are forked from Riot, and which are using the current matrix SDK. So there is a little of maintenance and bug fix to not forget the other clients.
Okay. So back to RiotX. What is the release plan?
So today we have released the first version on the Play Store, which is a beta release. So it means that it's semi-production release, so everybody can install it. You're just warned that it's a beta version and it may contain bugs and missing features. So we will try to publish a new version on a regular basis. I would be happy if we can do it every 2 weeks. But with the early days, it's summer here in France, and maybe it will be a bit less in July and August, but we will be happy if we can release every 2 weeks. And it was the first target for phase 2, which is the same level of features than Riot was at the end of September. So it's maybe a bit optimistic, but with the new code base, it's quite fast to implement new features and to import legacy features on RiotX. So maybe we will do it. Maybe it will be October or November. But, I'm sure it will be before Christmas.
Okay, great. Okay, so do you tell something more about the project?
I think I've spoken enough, but I want to thank every contributor to this project, every tester, every people which were giving us also a good feedback that motivates us. And please install RiotX, please give us feedback, and we will provide the missing features as soon as possible. And we are still working out to make it a good application and very stable, very smooth, very usable. So do not hesitate to install it, to play with it, and to tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, and even contribute to the project. We will pleased to welcome developers. Great. Yeah. So thanks, Benoit.
Sorry?
No, please.
Yes. Even if it's just create issues on the GitHub repository or reshaping a crash which may occur, it helps us a lot. So do not hesitate, because we are on a platform which is very fragmented, so we can't test every feature in every device. So it's important to have feedback from the community.
Okay.
From the user.
Okay. Thank you, Benoit. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.